Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kate. We do mom life together here on this channel. I would love to have you subscribe. If you're new, just hit that button down below and hit the little notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Today's video is going to be about being an overwhelmed mom. Motherhood is the most beautiful gift in the world, but it has also entailed some of the hardest days of my life. And I got to a point in my motherhood where I was very overwhelmed. You know, cooking, cleaning, changing diapers, playing games with our kids, planning activities, breaking up sibling fights, stepping on Lego, cooking and cleaning some more, and repeat, repeat, repeat. It's very easy for us to become overwhelmed as moms with everything that motherhood throws at us. And if we're not careful, it's very easy for an overwhelmed mom to turn into a resentful mom. A few years ago, I was super overwhelmed as a mom. I was a new foster parent. I had 4 kids, 4 and under, and it was a really rough patch in my motherhood. The house was always a mess. The sink was always full with dishes. I was impatient and short with my kids. I had no time left for my husband at the end of the day, and I gained a ton of weight. And all I really wanted was some peace and quiet. So I really started staying up late, you know, binge watching Netflix just to be alone without little tiny limbs climbing all over me. This led to me being super tired the next day and even more overwhelmed, and it was just a vicious cycle. And I felt like I was on this crazy cycle. And honestly, I didn't think it would ever be this way. It's not what I envisioned for my motherhood. We lost our first baby to miscarriage, and I promised myself that I would be so grateful when I got the chance to be a mom, and that I would appreciate every single day. And you know, 4 short years and 4 kids later, it wasn't that way. And I was wondering where that person went that had this great idea that I was just going to be super thankful and motherhood was a gift every day. Now, I know I needed to change. I didn't want to be an overwhelmed, resentful mom and wife. It's not the person that I wanted to be. And my issue was my heart. I was being selfish in every way possible. I was focusing on the bad, not the good. I was staying up late and being overtired. I was, like I said, on this vicious cycle that I just couldn't seem to get off. And I wasn't remembering all the sweet and kind and good things my kids did or my husband did. I wasn't focusing on the ways that they were helping me. I wasn't being proactive about getting a good start to the day so I could actually fill my day with productivity and patience. I wasn't starting my day with the Lord and allowing that blessing to truly flow from that. You know, I was staying up late, binge watching Netflix, eating chips that I didn't need, and ordering things off of Amazon that I didn't need in order to get some midnight retail therapy. And I know this problem is not unique to me. I know there's moms everywhere that struggle with the busyness of millennial mom life. They turn to unhealthy things like I did, and it leaves you super overwhelmed. And you know, I can't say I'm perfect. There's still some days that I feel overwhelmed, but most days I truly feel like the mom I wanted to be. And that is a mom who appreciates motherhood, who sees it as a gift, and who behaves and acts in a manner that shows that. And I put some simple practices into place, and I know they helped me, so I know they can help you too. So I wanted to share them with you. The first one is rest. Moms everywhere do not get enough sleep. And when we're already in the season of our littles not sleeping, we have to get any bit of sleep that we can. We need to get it in when we can. So whether that's a nap, whether that's going to bed early, whatever it is, make sure that you make rest a priority. It is so important for our bodies to regenerate. It is so important for our minds. It is so important for our mental health that we are getting adequate sleep. So do what you need to do. You know, for me, exercising daily so my body is physically tired, stopping screens an hour before bed, reading a book before bed, implementing a nighttime routine where I usually shower or sometimes even have a bath. I rub lotion on my body. I do proper skincare on my face, brush my teeth, all of these things to signal to my body that it's time to wind down for bed. So implementing a nighttime routine was something that I never had, and that in itself made a big difference on how I could get adequate rest. And rest being sleep, but rest also being stop saying yes to everything. You know when you need to say no. Make a list of priorities, and if something comes up that's not on the priorities, then say no to it. Just being protective of your time, I think, is really important in order that you're not an overwhelmed mom. For me, I know I was spread way too thin, and you simply can't do it all. And I know so many of us try to be super moms, and it's not bad to strive for things. I really want to accomplish as much as I can in my life and in my motherhood, but I also need to know that saying no to certain things means yes to other things. So knowing your priorities and making sure that that all aligns in your rest time as well. The second thing is waking up before your kids. I am a night owl. It's taken me months to switch from being a night owl to a morning person. And sometimes I still let myself sleep in because naturally that's my body's rhythm, it seems. But my day is 1000% better when I wake up before my kids. Whether it's just 15 minutes to have my coffee and read my Bible a little bit, or whether it's what I truly like is to wake up at 5. I don't always do that, but when I wake up at 5, my day is just always better. I get so many more things done. I'm like ready and awake and alert for the kids when they wake up, usually around 7:15, 7:30. It is just so much better. And in order for me to be able to run my business from home, I need to wake up early. Otherwise, I'm staying up way too late. So going to sleep early and waking up early, making those things a priority, has been super life-changing for me. The third thing I am going to say is don't let your marriage come before your kids. I tell my kids all the time that they're my third priority. God first, then my husband, and then my kids. And that is the way it's supposed to be. Your kids are going to be grown up and gone one day, and then it's just you and your husband left. And if you haven't made building that connection a priority, there's going to be little to no connection left when your kids are gone. And don't get me wrong, obviously there's some times when kids have to become a priority before your husband, and your husband should know and respect that as well. I mean, newborns can't feed themselves, that sort of thing. But when you still make sure that you're putting in an effort and making your husband a priority, he's going to help you. He's going to see when you need things, and you're going to be on the same page as far as when the kids need to come first. He's going to be so much more helpful, loving, self-sacrificing when he feels like he's not on the back burner all the time. And a good marriage for me in this area means that your husband knows, he can see it in you when he knows you need a break. And my husband, for example, will take the kids and just be, on a Saturday, take them out for 2 or 3 hours. Let me get some housework done in peace without our toddler destroying things. Let me work on my blog. Let me get some work done. Let me binge watch Netflix for 2 hours if that's what I really need to just have a moment of rest. He sees that in me because I make him a priority. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I don't get it right every single time, but he gives me grace and I give him grace. And we work really hard at actively putting each other before ourselves. I think that is the key to a happy marriage, is to love your spouse more than you love yourself. And sometimes if you need help with housework, for example, there are more traditional roles where the wife does most of the housework and cooking and the husband does the working out of the side of the home and providing an income for their family. But now more than ever, both parents are contributing to the income, whether that's the mom working from home. I run 3 small businesses from home. It's a lot of work. It's busy. My husband knows that, respects that. He simply does the dishes for me every night. And that takes just a huge thing off of my shoulders. I asked him, often you need to be direct with your husbands. Just ask for help. They can't read your mind. They can't see that you're being resentful because they left their dirty socks, or whatever it is that make you mad. Just simply, sweetly ask them. And I asked my husband, probably a couple years ago now, I would just really appreciate if you did the dishes the majority of the night. I take care of almost all of the other housework. He helps out, of course, on Saturdays when he's home with things. But the rest of the time I take care of almost everything, and I just can you please help me do the dishes the majority of the night? So at least 3 to 4 nights a week, he does the dishes. Sometimes every single night in a week, he'll do the dishes. And that is just, I'm super thankful for that. That's a huge help to me. You and your husband are a team, and especially if the wife is contributing to the financial obligations of the household as well, I think it's super important. Just ask your husband. Most men are willing to help if you simply ask. So just a reminder, don't get so disconnected in the parenting years that you are just completely unconnected when your kids are gone and grown. Flirt with him, send him texts during the day, have sex more often, things that make your husband happy, just do them more often. Love him more than you love yourself. Lastly, and most importantly, pray and spend time with the Lord. I was going to say this first, but I know sometimes when we're in that season of overwhelm, we just need a little bit more tangible ideas in order to get out of that overwhelm feeling. So that's why I mentioned the other ones first. But when I started making God a priority and putting him first and starting my day with him, my life changed. Everything became better. I have grown immensely in my spiritual life, and when that happens, everything else just seems to fall into place. It doesn't mean my life is easy. It doesn't mean I don't have trials and hard things come my way. That's not what it says in the Bible. It says that we will face trials. We will have, to deal with hard things in life. But having true happiness, joy, and abundance in Christ comes when you have and you pursue that intimate relationship with him. And that has been the biggest life change for me in the past couple of years. And when you start doing it, it's like, when you start working out, when you start doing anything and you start seeing results, you want to do it more and more. And now I wake up and I crave that time. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we had a rough night and I'm really tired and I don't start my day with it. And, I think God gives us grace for that in our motherhood. These years are short, but the days are long, as they say. And there is grace for that. But making a priority and setting the intention to spend time with God first will just make all of your days better. And it's honestly the best way to combat being an overwhelmed mom. So it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to be overwhelmed, but you do have to be proactive and you do have to take action. You can't just simply not make any changes and expect to just all of a sudden not be overwhelmed anymore. There are ways, there are systems and routines. I'm going to get into that in more videos about implementing systems and routines. I do not want to be overwhelmed as a mom. The days are long, the years are short. I want my motherhood to be filled with beautiful memories. I want it to be filled with reminders that it's a gift. I want it to be the best years of my life. Like these young years when I'm so influential on my children, I do want it to be the best years of my life. So I know I need to be proactive about that. And being proactive and taking initiative and setting the intention is the only way that you're not going to be overwhelmed as a mom. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. That helps other like-minded mamas to find my channel. I appreciate you so much for being here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Subscribe again if you're new. I'd love to have you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
I heard that you walked out again. I heard that you cried. Come this way, let me be a friend. My home's open.